Not too shabby for putting in a little bit of extra effort this morning. Anyways, so I had the realization of manifestation. Two are presenting themselves to be a possibility of happening. Two at the exact same time. It's like, I feel like every time in my life anything gets like down to the wire, I don't know if it's because I am just aware and I'm searching for opportunity, or if it's just like that's how the universe works. But I have it's like a fork. I have two separate directions that have the potential of being taken. And now nothing is in stone. This is something else that I've learned, you can't fantasize about the possibility. You have to go with what is real, right? So it's not, these aren't like guaranteed. These are just options that are interesting enough, very close to things that I have been wanting. So on one end of the spectrum, I have always, for the last few years, I have really thought about doing festival hair, like setting up some kind of a mobile station and doing like braids or dreads or something for festivals, and traveling around to different festivals and different rallies. And the thing is I always have these ideas for me to be put in these like fun situations. And in the same aspect, I do this with my living situation, like living on the beach, living in the mountains. I do this, but then I tend to overwork, and then I never partake in like the festivities and the fun. And like it's there, but then I move away, and then I'm like, oh shit, like I never even enjoyed it. I just worked the whole time. So that is one possibility. Well, okay, so that has been one dream. And in one direction, I have the possibility of having a really good network to actually make that happen. It is, like it's, nothing is set in stone, but there is the potential of having that transpire with the effort put in. Now, another back note is I am still connected to this connection. So taking that route doesn't exactly have to look like taking that route, and there's still the possibility. Does that make sense? Like I have the opportunity to deepen the connection and still make that transpire, yet in some aspect, there is like a closer encounter that could occur. So anyways, that's one path. Other path, something that has been more interesting in my agenda has been like building a relationship, right? Like having a partner and not being in full hustle mode, not being in full business, like doing everything independently, hyper independence. And then there's that route. So and again, nothing set in stone, but there is the potential. They both have like maybe a 20% percentage, but in the same aspect, I have to bring myself back into grounded position and realize like, yeah, these have really great potentials, but you can't make decisions off of potential. So the potential over here is that companionship, that partnership with someone who actually has made me feel wanted, which is something I've never really felt before. So it's new and it's a little scary. And so there's that. But in this direction, there's like a partnership, and there's still business, because I don't think I could completely shut off the business. But I also know that it's easier for me to work with someone on their business than it is for me to do my own business. So there draws a line too. Anyways, so there's that possibility. And there's like peace, there's travel, there's adventure, there's like so much fun. And it's also something that I wanted. And again, nothing is set in stone. There's no 100% I know which direction to take. We're just taking each day as it comes. But it's very interesting how at this moment where things are starting to come down to the wire, I have these two opportunities of two things that I have been wanting. Now, with that, while I journaled this morning, I was going through it because I'm like, this is very interesting, because the hair and doing the festivals has been on the agenda for a lot longer than the companionship, mentally, in the forefront of my mind. I feel like the companionship has probably always been there because we're human and we like companionship. So this has more of a vibrant feel to it. It's also more familiar, more comfortable. I know how to do hair. I know how to travel. And, the only thing that is really needing strengthening is my communication and connection, allowing people in. So in both aspects, no matter what, I am going to still be working on that connection bit. But my thought process is this is old, but it's vibrant and shiny. This is more of a scarier situation. A lot more doubt here, and more of an internal doubt of just, again, I've mentioned, there's a fear of people and a fear of being hurt. So it's a little bit more dark and gloomy. But here is my conundrum. Because this is new, less familiar, definitely got more subconscious blocks going towards this direction. I have to wonder if that's not why it's kind of portraying itself as dark and gloomy, where this is all sparkly and fun and, self-independent, and they're both going to have travel in them, but this is a little bit more lighter because there is more comfort and familiarity in it. So weird. This is very just kind of a weird scenario that I've got myself in. And again, we are not making a decision right now. We have at least 2 months. So something I have to do to ground myself back into is the fact of just live each day and make each day the best that it can be. And, one thing that I have to do is not wait for shit to just show itself. It's more putting in the effort to figure it out, but not in such a controlling way of, I don't know, being weird and blunt and rushing shit, because that's something else, is the patience game, at least on the relationship side. I definitely don't want to rush into anything. I don't want to go into it in a desperation mode, because we are coming down to the wire. And I guess that's maybe where this feels a little bit lighter, is because it is more of an independent thing. And you hear all these ladies go on about, don't ever put yourself in a situation where you're self-reliant on somebody else. And so that's always in the back of my mind too. But I feel like there's still a possibility. So it's just, what I really wanted to talk about was the fact that it's interesting how two manifestations, two desires, if you will, that I have been kind of conjuring up within myself have presented themselves in such a way that I get to make a choice. But then, in the same aspect, could it be combined? We don't know. We don't know, because we are living each day as it is, and we are just going to live each day as it's our last day and go with the flow and just enjoy the journey, because everything is temporary. So, you know what? It doesn't matter which route it ends up being. And who knows? They both could fall through. That's life, right? But anyways, it's just very interesting how two desires have now presented themselves with the opportunity of being created And so, you know, if you follow along the journey, then we'll see what happens. Until next time.
Have a lovely day.